Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing an Outlaw Trails role-playing game story. I'm titling this one The Sky Rustlers. Alright, before I get into this though, if you enjoy my content, it would really help me out if you could hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, share my content on all of your platforms, and post a comment or two. Remember, I welcome your comments, even if you disagree with me. And if you enjoy my political commentary or weekly current events, check me out over on my Rumble channel. Same name, The Grumpy Old Fart. If you enjoy a good book, check out my author page on Amazon.com. My pen name is H.L. Anderson. You can find all of my books there, including the tabletop role-playing game, Outlaw Trails. It is available for purchase, so you can get this game and you can play with your family and friends. It's designed for people of all experience levels, so if you've never played a tabletop role-playing game before, this is for you. If you've played it hundreds of times over decades, this is for you. I designed it that way on purpose. All right, I hope you get it. I hope you enjoy it. All right, the Sky Rustlers. My friend Larry wanted to run a short game and asked if we wanted to play. Our usual group was Bobby, Earl, Kevin, and I, and we were game. Larry was part of our group, and you know, we had characters, and they were all in the same town, so that was all taken care of. On game night, Earl had to work, so it was just Bobby, Kevin, and I. Larry was running it. He said he had a really great scenario set up, and we were like, okay, great, no problem. So the game started, and we were sitting in a hotel eating lunch. A couple of cowboys came in. They were all dusty and dirty. Something about them wasn't right. They headed for the saloon. The saloon shared a building with the hotel, so we saw them come in. Again, they were dusty. They were tired. They looked really, really scared. Something was wrong. I stood and casually stepped outside to check their horses. Those horses had been ridden hard, really hard. They were covered in foam. They were blowing hard. They were at the water trough. I mean, they rode those horses hard. I went back in and sat back down. I told Bobby and Kevin about the horses, and we decided to talk to them. After 20 minutes of talking and drinking, we finally got them to open up. They had been herding cattle along with 5 other cowboys and their foreman. When the cattle reached the river, some type of airship moved over the herd and began hitting the cattle with what they called lightning. The cowboys began shooting at the airship to get them to stop. The airship moved off. The cowboys began rounding up the cattle, but then more lightning began hitting the men. There were people on a hill nearby, and they were using lightning to attack the drovers. The cowboys tried to fight back, but they all died except for the 2 that were standing here. Yeah. At that point, we were giving Larry some weird looks. Outlaw Trails. Okay, we decided to ride out and have a look for ourselves. We went to the general store and loaded up on ammunition. Kevin bought dynamite also, just in case. We rode out to where the attack occurred. There were charred corpses and dead animals everywhere. The hill that they spoke of was obvious, so we rode up to check the area out. There was a little spring which fed a small pool. It was surrounded by rocks, and throughout the area were the damnedest little tracks. They didn't look like people. They had 2 claws in the back and 3 in the front. They were about as big as my hand. We found where bullets had impacted rocks here and there. The tracks moved off over the hill, so we followed. Beyond the hill, there was a huge thing. It looked like a big egg with a box attached to the big end of it. It sat on the desert floor, and there were about a dozen strange-looking creatures running around. They were butchering beef and taking water from the river. We watched until most of them went back aboard the egg-shaped ship through a hole in the side. The hole closed up, and the thing rose up into the air. When it moved off over the mountain, it left 5 of the creatures behind. Kevin and I covered Bobby with our rifles so he could sneak down and get a better look. One of the creatures sniffed the air and then spotted Bobby. Kevin and I did not hesitate. We opened up with our rifles. We dropped 2 of them, while one of them jumped Bobby. While they fought, the other 2 drew some kind of weapons from their belts and began shooting at us with strange light beams. We ducked down and moved in the rocks to a new spot. When we came up, we opened up again, killing the two with the guns. Bobby used his buck knife and stabbed the last one to death. We grabbed two of them and carried them to our horses, where we took them back to town. The two drovers had been arrested under suspicion of murder. The two dead bodies, because people had overheard them talking. The two dead bodies we brought in proved their story, so they were released. Then the airship flew over the town and started blasting buildings apart. We hid out in a basement storm cellar with 20 others and didn't come out for 2 days. When we finally did come out, the dead creatures were gone and there were 14 dead townspeople. Our horses were dead. One of them had exploded where Kevin had the dynamite in his pack. Yeah, it was a fun game, but that was the last time we let Larry run Outlaw Trails. we play Outlaw Trails because we like the Old West. We're gonna do, if you want to put aliens in, Recon or in Heroes Unlimited or something like that, that's fine. But we play Outlaw Trails because we like the Old West. And I suppose it wasn't bad. And if you're into that, and if that piques your fancy, then that's cool. And frankly, I really can't complain too much. I've got a 4-book Western series called Drifters that deals with all kinds of paranormal stuff. It's got magic, mythological creatures, all kinds of different stuff. So, yeah, it's available at Amazon on my author page, H.L. Anderson on Amazon. But yeah, I really shouldn't complain too much because we did have fun. It was a cute game. We just didn't let Larry play anymore. Right? We didn't let him. He played. We just didn't let him run the games anymore. So yeah. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Hope this finds everybody well. You folks have a good one. God bless one and all.